Stay tuned. Your program will begin shortly. Stay tuned. Your program will begin shortly.
Stay tuned. Your program will begin shortly.
Stay tuned. Your program will begin shortly. Stay tuned. Your program will begin shortly. Stay tuned. Your program will begin shortly.
Stay tuned. Your program will begin shortly.
Stay tuned. Your program will begin shortly.
Bye week last week, first week of the playoffs, as you weighed the outcome of the 11th seed Athens versus the 6th seed Buckeye Valley contest. That game was won by Buckeye Valley 42-13. And before we get to the Barons, my first question would be, how did the bye week go?
We're good, real good. We're very positive about it. We cut practice down, but we tried to work a lot of individual and group stuff. We did very little team stuff. And we just feel that, individual work, can never do too much of that. And we just had a whole week, so that's what we spent time on, individual and group technique.
Coach, I want to touch, I didn't get to talk to you last week. I want to touch on the regular season a little bit. You guys ended up the end of the season, winning 7 in a row. You faced a situation early in the season that you haven't faced in your career, with the 2 losses, with some adversity there. And then, you answer the bell, you come back with a big overtime win versus Mooney, faced a lot of great players this year. You were able to create depth this year. How are you happy with the progression by your team from the beginning of the season to the end of the regular season?
The thing I was most pleased with was how it just kept working. I mean, the coaches kept. It was like, we were 0-2. We were the worst team in the valley, and but you couldn't tell that by practice. The the practice were just. I mean, they were. When I looked at the practice, I couldn't believe we were 0-2, and we were a bad 0-2. And but the coaches kept working, the players kept working. There wasn't any problem, just hard work and get to the next day. And even sometimes more important than that, get to the next minute.
Yeah.
And but I just think that it went great. But the turning point in our season was the forced fumble by Wiggins, recovered against Mooney, and it was sailing from there.
Coach, I got one more thing I want to follow up. So, talked about the regular season, Coach. This point of the season, you're coming off, this bye week in the playoff season. You want your team to be, at their strongest point. Your football team right now, what condition is your football team, and how is the health of your football team going here into the playoffs, getting ramped up for the playoffs?
Well, our health overall is beautiful. Going into week 12. We lost a lineman though, but we're going to replace him with a senior, and that senior just got to do the job. That's all. He's a senior, and he knows what's expected of him. And but other than that, we're healthy. We're healthy, and like I told our players all week, and in their letter, it's mental now. It's not physical. If you're a dog that doesn't bite when you're a puppy, you're not going to bite when you're bigger. I mean, we know who can play. We know that that we can be physical, and we know that we can play fast. We know we can play smart, but we got to put it all together. We just got to keep working at that, and the harder we work at the little things are so important. I mean, everybody thinks that big plays. I'll take one big play, but I'd rather just have 1,000 tough, hard-nosed plays where everybody does their job and we get 5 yards. Yeah. And that's the mentality that I want our players to play with. And when you're in the secondary, they're going to catch the ball. Don't give them yards after they catch. So if your philosophy is stop the run, it can't be stop the run and stop the pass. You're not going to stop both. Our philosophy is stop the run, tackle the pass. They catch it, tackle them right there, and don't give them any yards. So that's just the little things that we're working on right now.
So, Coach, as I mentioned at the beginning here, you're going to be facing Buckeye Valley this week. You did play the Barons last year in round 1 of the playoffs and defeated them 47-7, but Buckeye Valley, a much improved team this year from a year ago. They come in at 9-2, and a quick look at their schedule shows that they've defeated a Division I opponent in Delaware Hayes. They beat 2 Division II opponents in Licking Heights and Whitehall Yearling, 3 Division III opponents in Hamilton Township, who finished at 9-2, Bexley and Athens last week in the first round of the playoffs, 3 Division IV opponents in Heath, River Valley, and Bishop Reedy. Their 2 losses were to Franklin Heights, a Division II team who finished 6-4, and Division V Columbus Academy, who was 8-2. So they averaged 32.7 points per game. They've given up only 15 a game. A much improved.
You know more about them than I do.
I got time on my hands, Coach.
I
I just know that watching them play, they're better than they were last year. I'm not talking about who they beat and who they didn't beat and all that. I know that their offense and defensive line is better than it was last year. Their backs run hard, and they're very accurate when they throw the ball. Their defense plays a lot better than it did last year. They're more gap sound. They're a better football team, and they're senior dominated. If you look at their front 4 and their 2 inside backers, they play 1 sophomore, but they're senior dominated, and they have 7 kids back on defense that played last year. So they're a team that their coach does a good job. I mean, you can just tell, the way they work, the way they take their steps, the way they defend, and they're a better team, and hopefully we're a better team. So, but you know what? All that goes out the window after the ball's kicked off. Who's better that night? Mm-hmm. So we got to be better that night.
Right.
Well, Coach, I want to ask this. So, sticking on the subject of Buckeye Valley, Coach had mentioned their ability to score points, and their 2 losses, like he said, to a good Franklin Heights team, 6-4 Franklin Heights. They only put up 14 points in that game. Their other loss, Columbus Academy, they put up 24. Most of the other games where they were really able to be successful, they were able to, put up a lot of points. What's the key to stopping this team and stopping their offense and giving your team a chance to win?
Well, in our 2 losses, we didn't score any points. So, see, I don't look at the key as stopping them. You're not going to stop. You're in the second round of the playoffs now. You're not going to stop anybody. But there's some certain downs you have to control. And, and my personal philosophy is it's first down. I mean, first down sets the tone. Everybody talks about third and short, fourth and short and all that. Well, you don't get to third and short if you don't have a good first down.
Right.
And so first down is a key. And we don't plan on putting a lid on them and stopping them. We just plan on our players playing gap sound and being great tacklers. And whatever happens after that happens. If we're gap sound and we're tackling, then we're going to have an opportunity to be around in the fourth quarter. If we're not gap sound and we're not good tacklers, then it's going to be a long night. So the first key would be gap sound and tackle, and offensively, get first down. Get 3.5, 4 yards on first down. Win first down on offense. And sometimes the play action pass sets up the run, and sometimes the run sets up the pass. So I can't tell you, I don't know what they're going to try to defend, but I know that, that they're going to try to take away our 2 best plays because that's what coaches do. We got to stop their 2 best plays and stop their best pass off of it, and that's what their goal is with us. And or that's what I just think that's a goal that most people have. Take away what they do best, make them play left-handed, and sometimes you're a pitcher, you got to win without your best pitch. And I hate comparing football to baseball because it's baseball's a pastime, football's a sport. I mean. That's what baseball players call it. They call it their pastime. So you were a baseball player. It was a pastime.
Coach,
what do you think, Steve?
I like that answer. I like
how
that.
How mad you think Freddie Heatherton is right now?
He's at Myrtle Beach. He might end up that bad.
Coach, we talked a little bit before we came on the air here tonight. How big is recognition going to be for your defense? Because Buckeye Valley is going to give you 5 different looks, basically, which a lot of teams will, it's almost like it's 5 different offenses, double tight, double wing. They're going to give you that wildcat look. They're going to give you a true eye backfield look. They're going to give you that 5 wide look, So it's all very distinct, different things that they do. How big is that for your defense that they're able to recognize and say, okay, this is what they're in, this is what they like to do out of that setter look?
Well, first of all, the key to defense is getting lined up. If you get lined up, you have a half a chance. So our goal is to get lined up. And, that's simple. Get lined up. It's not simple to get lined up, but it's simple that's the first key. Get lined up. And second thing is no matter how many formations they give, who's their best player? Who do they like to run the ball with? Who do they like to throw the ball to? Okay? That's the second thing. And you just got to work on that during the week. And the third thing is be gap sound and tackle. And that's just my philosophy. We got to get lined up, be gap sound, and tackle. And know who their players are. And if we don't know who their players are from working on them from Monday through Thursday, then we shouldn't even show up for the game. We know who their players are. They know who our players are. We know what we got to stop. They know what they got to stop. Who's going to do it better? That's what football comes down to, in my opinion. And that might be oversimplified, but I don't care what defense you have. You better have every gap covered.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Coach, so playoff mentality, the regular season we were talking about, before the show that, really getting good experience throughout the season is a real good, way to measure your team, not only measure your team, but to, to give your team experience of playing against tough teams, seeing certain things. How do you think this year's schedule helped you guys prepare for the playoffs?
Our schedule was demanding. I mean, it was a demanding schedule, but at the same time, we had to create depth, and I think we've done that at every position except our offensive line. Our offensive line, we have 7 players that we can play, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. We have 7 players we can play, but every other position, I think we've developed depth. We have two tight ends. We have 5 receivers that we're comfortable with. We have 3 tailbacks. We have 3 fullbacks. We have depth. We have depth on the defensive line, linebackers, secondary. So that's the first thing we wanted to accomplish. We didn't get to play as many young players as we'd like to.
Yeah.
In games because we were in games fighting for our lives. We didn't, and that's just the name of that tune. But we played a little bit more reserve games this year. We played a little bit more freshman games this year. So at least they got some playing time.
Right.
And I wish we could play more. But we just have to go so far away for our reserve. We only have a couple teams that play our freshmen.
Right.
But our freshmen played as many reserve teams as they played freshmen, but that'll help them in the future.
Great.
But just it's important. It's important to create depth. The more kids you have playing, the better off it is. Now, some kids work their butts off, but they just weren't blessed with the talent to play, and that's where, as a coach, you got to work them in somewhere.
Yeah.
On special teams or maybe on offense when they're in there, run away from them, things like that. I mean, you got to find ways to get kids that earned an opportunity. You got to get them an opportunity. But the regular season was challenging, but I think it made us a better team. Now, I don't know if that's going to make us playoff better, but it made us a better team from the beginning to the end.
Absolutely. Matt, anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck
We'll take that.
this week in the quarterfinals of the Division III Region 11 playoffs as you take on Buckeye Valley. And we'll be there to bring you that game, myself
geez.
and Raymond.
I can't wait to see
Matt.
you guys.
You'll have Matt on the field. You'll see
He
Matt.
loves seeing me before the game.
You'll have Matt on the field, so we're excited to bring you that game.
I do appreciate what you guys do. You guys do a very good job of just look at the people you have that listen or watch the game. I don't know if you do both or not. Is it always TV or is it?
Well, usually it's always TV live stream, but sometimes it's audio only.
Yeah,
so
but,
we do
well,
that too.
I know that a lot of my friends from out of town really enjoy you guys, and that's good. I mean, you can't be serious all the time. You got to knock some funny stuff in, and hopefully that we carry our end of the bargain Friday night. But thanks for all you do for the sports in the Valley.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you, Coach.
right,
Thank you
thanks
for
a
your
lot,
time coming
Steve.
on and joining us. Best of
Steve
luck
got
this
that
week.
job out there. He gained 47 pounds already.
Wait till his notes. I can't wait till the pregame notes.
We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with head coach Quincy Wilson.
Hi, I'm Dan Enich, Superintendent of Hancock County Schools. Are you trying to choose a school for your child? Choose the school system that is consistently in the top 10 academically in the state of West Virginia. Safety comes first.
Make Fort
New
Steuben
safety
Maintenance
measures
your
this year,
first
and there's
call.
always
You
a
can
county
rely
or
on
written
them to be
police
the
officer in all of
experts
our
when it
buildings.
comes to roofing,
Our teachers are
concrete,
certified,
plumbing,
and our
carpentry,
athletic
just
facilities are
about
second
any
to none.
job that
There
needs
is
done.
free breakfast
Fort
and lunch for
Steuben
all
Maintenance,
students.
they're
Attend
fully
the award-winning
licensed
JVR
and
Career
bonded,
Center
and will
if
even
career
give you
readiness
a
is your
free
choice.
estimate.
Enroll
Fort
today.
Steuben
Hancock County
Maintenance. You want the
Schools, and
number?
you can get there from here.
740-283-4890. Looking for a place to stay? Then stay at the Best Western Plus Franciscan Square Inn and Suites, conveniently located in the beautiful Ohio Valley next to State Routes 22 and 7 at the gates of Franciscan University of Steubenville. Receive a warm welcome from friendly, attentive staff, providing all the amenities you deserve. Each guest room is done in beautiful modern decor, with amenities including a microwave and mini fridge, free high-speed wireless internet, and a flat panel television. Stay in a suite for extra space with the same great amenities. Best Western Plus Franciscan Square Inn is a proud Barron's sponsor.
Hi, I'm Dan Enich, Superintendent of Hancock County Schools. Are you trying to choose a school for your child? Choose the school system that is consistently in the top 10 academically in the state of West Virginia. Safety comes first. New safety measures this year, and there's always a county or Weirton police officer in all of our buildings. Our teachers are certified, and our athletic facilities are second to none. There is free breakfast and lunch for all students. Attend the award-winning JDR Career Center if career readiness is your choice. Enroll today. Hancock County Schools, you can get there from here.
Oh, we're back here.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back. Caught us on a hot mic there coming back in. We're here at the Harp and Habit, Franciscan Square in Steubenville, Ohio, wing night for our West Virginia Week 11 coaches show with head coach Quincy Wilson of the Weir High Red Riders. This portion of the show being brought to you by Hancock County Schools. Coach, another tough one in Week 10 as you went down to rival Brook 46-10.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that night?
Well, they're a well-coached team. Like we had talked about, we'd have to have some things go our way, to have some success. And for the most part, we did. But we got hit with the turnover bug as always, man. We had a fumble. We had a pick six. We had, so it's hard to play when you have studs, let alone, guys that are still trying to figure it out, from behind, and it changes your whole game plan. So, we just played behind the eight ball with that, but our kids, as always, kept playing. Though we played well defensively in spurts, and and it was just one of those days. It's us when you're trying to find the good in it, and it's that. Like I think you were mentioning the coach, some of our young guys had to step up and play, and they were in there playing. So they've gotten a lot of good reps the last couple of weeks, and we're going to need all hands on deck this week for Herbert Hoover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Coach, that was my next thing. I wanted to talk about the team. This time of the year, a lot of teams want to be, see where they are at the end of the season and their strength and stuff. How's your team holding up? How's the health of your team? How's the condition of your team finishing the season? I know you guys have been
considering I looked at it before I came in here, potential. We've played 6 playoff teams. Some one's 10-0, one is 9-1. So we've played some great teams, and we got banged up early and kind of been playing catch up from them. So it's as you expect in Week 11 with 49 kids, we're at the end, into the rope, as they say. But I always tell them we only need 11, and our guys are ready to play. If that, and we've had a good week of practice. Probably going to have to go with a young guy at quarterback this week. Nick DeManis was a little banged up in the Brook game, and but he'll be fine. He'll be fine with that. But it's an opportunity, and that's what I always tell our guys, and I've always prep these guys. Like, listen, it's an opportunity to play, and like you said, these guys have played the JV schedule. They they've played football, so we're not just throwing some random guy out there that hasn't just been practicing. They've played games, and we expect them to perform when they get out there.
Right. As you mentioned, you'll be traveling to Herbert Hoover this week, which is in Elkview, West Virginia. And again, no breaks on your schedule, Coach. The Huskies are coming in at 7-2.
Yeah.
Having beaten Winfield, Nitro. Nitro was 8-1. Winfield 6-3. Lincoln County, Point Pleasant, South Charleston, Ripley, and Parkersburg. Their 2 losses, when you look at their 2 losses, they lost to Independence, who's 7-1, 37-34, and Frankfurt, who's 9-0, 37-25. Right. So the 2 losses to 2 very, very good football teams by close margins. So Herbert Hoover's the real deal too, right?
Yeah, quarterback is sophomore Grigsby, who's probably the real deal. He's a dual threat, 5 touchdowns last week against Parkersburg. So we have to, kind of play a little different defense that we played all year. We're kind of trying to hug that line of scrimmage and make him get the ball out of his hands. He still is a sophomore, so we try to make him make decisions. And but they're big, they're fast, they're good, they're well coached. I've known Joey for a long time when he was back at Mingo Central. So. It's one of those things where I kind of like that. It's a challenge. It's a road game. They played them last year, so it's no surprise the same guys that are back for this year. So it's the challenge of the road, but it's also a chance to see where we're at. How far are we away from the Herbert Hoovers, the Frankfurts, these teams? Are we way off, or are we saying a couple years, or are we saying, hey, on any given day, the ball bounces our way, we'll be right in the fight.
Right.
Now, Coach, I know that schedule, we talked before a little bit, that schedule was in place before you got there. But we were talking before also with Coach Suckoch and me and you about strength of schedule, and you guys are right up there with a really, really tough schedule. Despite the record, all that, you've played a really tough schedule. How do you think? Your schedule could be real watered down, and you guys could have 6 wins.
Right.
I think as a head coach going forward, I know it's in my pipeline. I know it's in my, hey, we have a good sophomore class, we have a good junior class. So I think you want to schedule teams, obviously, that are playoff contenders because, and with the Valley, there's always a mix of that, whether being a bigger school. So I don't think we have trouble with that. I think we're always going to have quality enough teams to play. Do you want to load your schedule up and do that? No, because, again, we don't have 80 kids on the roster. Our rosters will, at when we really get rolling, I like to have at least 65 guys where, you can
number.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. You got JV guys, you got varsity guys, you got depth, and get that. But when you're in the 40s, and, again, you're only playing probably 20 of those guys. So, so I think the more numbers you got. But I think as a coach, you try to schedule – what you think you can handle. No, projectingly, when I told you we're playing 6 playoff teams in the schedule, you asked me this summer, I said absolutely not. But that's the beauty of football. That's the beauty of football. So we're, like I said, we'll be well down the road and grateful for it down the road. I mean, with this junior class and these guys, because we'll have that experience to lean on all winter.
Yeah.
Coach, when I go back and look, my 4 years I spent at Wheeling University, I thought I knew the state of West Virginia pretty well with the travels there. But Elkview does not, pop into my mind its location.
Put it this way, there's no easy way to get there.
Right.
Most of the time you would go through Morgantown and you'll hit it before you hit Charleston. We're actually going to go through Parkersburg and come back up around and go into Elkview, which is another probably 10
What you
minutes.
know about Morgantown?
Nothing. I know the old Morgantown. This new imposter, I do not know about. They're 10 minutes outside of Charleston. They obviously just got a new school built. They got hit with the flood there in 2016. So everything there is brand new. So they'll have the lights and the cameras and the smoke and all that good stuff, which is great. I tell our guys, I always love road games. Us against the world. Our fans, they're going to be yelling at you on the way out, yelling at you way in, but on the way in, but on the way out, you want to make them go home a little sad. So.
Right, and you said there's been some adjustment to
so we were playing 7. There's some storms rolling in this afternoon, Friday. Excuse me, not this afternoon. I think I'm playing tonight. Friday evening, so we moved our game up an hour. It's not supposed to hit till 9:30, 10. You never know with weather, but with lightning and us being 3 hours away, we want to try to get as much of that game in as possible because obviously we don't want any delays and stay that because we do have a 3-hour trip back.
Right.
Coach, throughout this season, but before we wrap it up, but throughout this season, you've I know if I say it every week, you've remained positive and everything, but just as a first-year coach at Weir High, what are some lessons, some lessons you learned this year throughout the season?
Well, I think you can always be more organized. You can always be a better communicator. And that's one of the things this next couple of weeks we'll do a deep dive into that. Do we have the right coaches? Do we have the right system? Do we need to be spread? Do we need to do whatever? So, but again, that's the beauty of football.
Right.
But I think to a man, I thought we've gotten better every week. So that tells me at least what we're teaching and coaching is good. Now we have to figure out how to take the practice field to Friday nights because we have great. There's some weeks where I've thought we've really looked good. And then we get in the game, and like you said, turnovers happen, and this happens, and this has happened. Again, everyone can say that if the ball bounces our way with that. But I think, in the offseason, you want to, you don't always want to focus on the negatives, but what are we doing good?
Yeah.
What are we doing good? Are our kids good kids? Do we have are any of our kids been on the suspended list? Are they going to school with the attendance? So I think the first thing you want to do is what do we change? But I think the first thing I want to do is what are we doing well? How can we get better with that? And then the other stuff, it happens, and I think our kid will, bring it, with having 10 seniors, we have a bigger senior class next year, so I think, we won't have to do as much coaching in the off season because that's what year one's about. So just, sticking to the plan, not abandoning ship as you say,
right.
That bye week, you're like, oh my God, we got to do this, we got to do that.
Right.
And, but no, it's been awesome. I can't believe it's already year one.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I feel like that first show we're talking about getting ready for Oak Glen, and now we're getting ready for Herbert Hoover's.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Coach, best of luck to you this week as you
guys.
travel down to Elkview, West Virginia. Safe travels.
I already look forward to seeing you guys next year.
All right.
No
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with head coach T.J. Miller of Oak Glen.
Looking for a one-stop destination in Chester, West Virginia? Visit Cheney's Sunoco, where you can fill up your car and satisfy your cravings all in one place. Enjoy piping hot food, mouth-watering subs, and delicious pizza, all prepared fresh just for you. Experience a clean, welcoming environment with friendly service that makes you feel right at home. Locally owned and operated, Cheney's Sunoco is committed to serving the Chester community. Stop by today and treat yourself.
Welcome to the Harp and Habit, Steubenville's hidden gem. Here, Irish charm dances with local warmth. Picture shepherd's pie, fish and chips, and soda bread, all crafted with care. Whether it's family, friends, or romance, every meal becomes a celebration. Join us. Where good food meets great memories, you belong here.
Everhart Bow Funeral Home, they believe you should take care of your loved ones while you still can. Pre-planning at Everhart Bow ensures that your family won't have to worry about the stress of final arrangements during this most difficult time. More importantly, they won't have to worry about how they'll pay for it. Visit Everhart Bow Funeral Home today and discover all the affordable options available. Everhart Bow Funeral Home, Wintersville, Richmond, and Burgolds. Thank you, National Colloid, for sponsoring this broadcast. The National Colloid Company, with over 75 years in the chemical industry, can take care of all your chemical blending needs.
Hi, I'm Dan Enid, Superintendent of Hancock County Schools. Are you trying to choose a school for your child? Choose the school system that is consistently in the top 10 academically in the state of West Virginia. Safety comes first. New safety measures this year, and there's always a county or Weirton police officer in all of our buildings. Our teachers are certified, and our athletic facilities are second to none. There is free breakfast and lunch for all students. Attend the award-winning JDR Career Center if career readiness is your choice. Enroll today, Hancock County Schools. You can get there from here.
A Bruin symbolizes strength, adaptability, and resilience. From the moment a child enters Brooke County schools, they are forever known as a Bruin. They have pride in themselves and the schools they attend. A Bruin can navigate challenging situations and will always work to embrace change. A Bruin ensures all students understand what it means to be a part of something special and have a sense of belonging where they can study, compete, and succeed. Want to learn more about what it means to be a Bruin? Visit BruinPride.net. Brooke County Schools, the place to be.
All right, we're back here live at the Harp and Habit in Franciscan Square in Steubenville, Ohio on wing night. More importantly, it's our coaches show night, West Virginia week 11. We're being joined now by head coach T.J. Miller of Oak Glen. This portion of the show being brought to you by A&B Heating and Cooling. Coach, coming off of a tough loss in week 10 to a very, very good Clay Battelle team who's 8-1 on the road, 16-8. In that game, you outgained the CBs in that loss. You're led by Logan Murray, who had 22 carries for 196 yards. Jacob Everett added 65 yards on 13 carries. Cam Carter had 37 yards on 4 carries. Maddox Bone was 5 of 12 passing for 56 yards. Cam Carter caught 3 of those passes for 39 yards. So a good performance, but you come up on the short end.
Yeah, the turnover bug got us. The first half, it was like kind of one of those, just felt like anything that could go wrong went wrong for us. And, we were gashing them, getting large chunks, just driving the field. Majority of the game, just not a good night for us. Turnover bug got us a little bit, and unfortunately, we kept them around, and they scored off 2 big plays against us in the game, and it was just one of those coaches' nightmare type games. And that's unfortunately the hand was dealt, and it's. It's a tough pill to swallow. A game I felt, and our staff and our players, we all felt we should have won for sure. But hey, we didn't take care of business and didn't do what we needed to do. So that's how it goes.
Right.
All right, Coach. So throughout the season, you guys seem to really progress for the better throughout the season. It's kind of out of your hands. You're sitting in that 7-3 record. Right at that tail end spot of that that playoffs. How do you feel about having that bye week being at week 10?
I like it in a sense that we got a few guys dinged up right now.
Yeah.
So if we're fortunate enough to get into playoffs, we got 2 or 3 key players right now that are healing up, and they'll be ready to go for that playoff game. So that's the huge bonus of it. The other one, the coaching side of it. I mean, I'm like, man, I wish we had one more game now to where we could go out there,
get the points,
get the win, get after it, and have our 10th game. So I see both sides. Me, I love getting our guys healthy. We're going to have to rely on a little bit of luck, but, we did it to ourselves. So lost a couple games that we felt we shouldn't have, close games that were, we put the work in, had some momentum in the Tyler game, was ahead in the Tyler game, and turnovers got us that game too. And we let them back in, and then they took it, and, Tyler played hard, and credit to them. And same with Clay Battelle, I just got to say. And, that was a game I felt like we should not have lost at all, and unfortunately we did, and now we're anxiously awaiting the verdict. So we're gonna see.
So that Clay Patel team, real quick, Coach. I just want to touch on that. I mean, you guys play. They're a good team. They're a good football team. They're an 8-1 football team.
Yeah.
You guys played really good. You lose 16-8. What were some positives you took out of that game?
Clay Battelle was very well coached, so I do have to give them that. They're a very well coached team, and they were physical. Some positives, our ground game I thought was really, really solid. Like he just said earlier, Logan Murray had 200 yards rushing.
Yeah.
But it's the positive. Like it's just so hard because that game I was trying to erase and wash. And
Sorry.
No, that's part I knew it was coming. It was coming in, and it was coming up today. So no, it's some positives. I thought the boys fought hard all game. It was just one of those things. Turnovers killed us. I thought Maddox managed the game very well. I thought, we were battling up front. Defensively, we had a lot of bend, not break throughout the game.
Yeah.
I thought defensively, for the most part, we were playing well. At the end, they got us a little bit. We had a couple injuries. We had a youngster at corner, and a kid that hasn't played that position routinely.
Right.
It was just kind of filling in for us for the week because we had Logan, obviously, with his, injury going on. And we had another kid go down middle of the week with mono. That was the other corner.
Yeah.
That had 2 interceptions in the East Liverpool game.
Right.
He's out. So, we put an athlete there to kind of fill in. And,
yeah.
Unfortunately, they kind of picked on him a little bit. Credit to them. They saw a youngster out there, so they attacked. And, and that youngster, I talked to him after the game. I said, buddy, keep your head up. We asked you to fill in a spot where we know you're not used to. It wasn't, if anything, that's on us.
Yeah.
So, I'm proud of the effort. I'm proud of the fight with the kids. I felt like throughout the year, in times of adversity, our kids have responded very well.
Good.
Same thing after halftime. We talked to them. We worked on some adjustments that we were going to make, came out, scored right away. So I liked that, the fight was there. They were fired up. But like I said, it was just one of those nights where I felt like
should have came out with the W.
That was a heartbreaking one
because
I felt like we did a lot of good that game.
Yeah.
Especially with our rushing attack and defensively, and just turnovers killed us. And
Yeah.
it's just one of those games where you have to sit there and you're like, it's frustrating. You
Like to
feel
get
for the
that
kids.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to get that game back. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Coach, when you look at your season as a whole, looking at the offensive side, you mentioned Maddox Bowen. He's been very efficient this year.
Yeah.
50 and 98 passing, 807 yards, 13 touchdowns. You look at Logan Murray, who I think, having seen him a little bit this year, hard-nosed, throwback kind of kid, led the rushing attack with 146 carries for 1,341 yards in 9 games. He missed some at some time and 11 touchdowns. But the thing you got to be happiest with as a team, you've rushed for almost 2,600 yards and 26 touchdowns. So, I've always felt, any level of football you look at, run the ball successfully, stop the run. And your team this year, that's been sort of the formula to your success, correct?
Absolutely. We've been a heavy run team this year. I think anybody that knows us knows we're very physical up front. We try to play a physical style football. We have 2 great, guys running the ball right now with Jacob Everett and Logan, who have both, accumulated over 2,000 yards rushing. And like you just said, Logan, that's with not having a single rush in the East Liverpool game, only playing half of the Belpre game, half of the Bridgeport game, half of the Buckeye local game. So he's a special athlete. And even with like Maddox, Maddox is a very good quarterback for us, very efficient. We try to put him in situations where we feel he's going to succeed the best. I know it's different for him coming in this year because he played for Madonna last year.
Right.
And they're totally different offense than we are. They were shotgun spread.
Yeah.
They slinged it around and they had a lot of success doing it. We have a big line, and we want to use that to our advantage.
Right.
So, and he's managed the games for us extremely well. He's done great. And he hasn't had to throw as many passes because our run game has been so effective. And we've tried to put him in positions where we can get him efficient, whether that's throwing 5 times, 10 times, 15 times a game, whatever kind of dictates the game as far as what we're doing, what they're giving us. And then defensively, I have to say, like Cam Hebrock, he's our leading tackler right now.
Yeah.
Every team we have faced, I said, hey, that number 54,
he stood out to me week 1. You guys were on TV.
Yeah, against Weir.
I remember he hit 54. Yeah,
he's a monster on defense.
Yeah,
he
he's
wants
a good
to go
player.
play college ball. He's like 6'3", 6'4", 215, 220. He's actually cut down from about 235 with just how football's been.
Yeah,
he's just such an animal on defense. He's definitely the heart and soul of our defense right now. I mean, and our guys rally behind him. We've progressed so much from the summer when we were installing this offense, installing defense, to now where, we were confident as a staff we'd be in the position we're in.
Right.
But I think we shocked. I said from day one going to the Weir game, I think we're going to surprise a lot of people. My first week on here, the big topic was us, Weir, opening game. What do you think? And I just said, I think
you guys came out fast.
Yeah, I think we're going to surprise a lot of people this year because obviously we were 1-9 last year.
Yeah.
And we worked really, really hard this summer, in the winter, on weight room, discipline, culture, mental side.
Yeah.
So we were excited to come out and surprise a lot of people this year, and I think we have in a good way, which is good.
Yeah.
Not the finish we wanted. Feel like we could be sitting here 9-1 right now, but that's that's on me and. I talked those 2 weeks we lost. I take that. I take the blame for that. Yeah. So that's how it goes.
Right. So as we said at the beginning as well, so you're on your bye this week. You're sitting, around 15 right now, kind of waiting to see the action play out. So what are some key things or games that you'll be keeping your eye on that's going to help you maybe improve your standing there and make sure that you're playing in week 1 playoffs?
The 2 big games that we're watching, this is what I told our team, are Clay County versus Braxton County. Clay, I believe, is a little bit ahead of us. Braxton is number 17 looking in.
Yeah. And
then the Buffalo versus Pikeview game. Buffalo's a AA, Pikeview's a AAA. Buffalo's at 16 right now. And Pikeview's on the edge of AAA. So those are the 2 big games for us that we're watching to see if we're going to be anywhere from 15, 16, 17.
Okay.
In that. I don't think we can obviously climb really unless we get some real big help.
Okay.
Right. But to see if we're in, those are the 2 biggest games we're watching this weekend.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Yeah, Coach, so being on, this is my last question. For your team in the situation you're in, it's out of your hands. You know what I mean? It's out of your hands. You know, you guys got better all year. You competed all year.
Yeah, absolutely.
1-9 last year. Now some of those players that were on that team, that's a credit to you, your coaching staff, the players. You come back this year, you have a heck of a season, 7-3. You know, lost to some good teams. You know, they're reaping the benefits of that hard work and everything. But you know, with having a bye week and you know just kind of sitting back. And it kind of like a March Madness feel, you know, whether they're going to call your name or not. You know, what's the message, you know, to your team, you know, as far as that goes?
So I gave the boys off Monday. We've been practicing the 3 days this week. We got some good weight room in. We got good film time in. And I told the guys, let's not waste time while we're here at practice. We did a lot of offensive stuff the past 2 days. Some wrinkles. It's hard defensively to kind of go with because we don't know who we have. We don't know what we're facing yet. For example, the two teams, you know, at 1 and 2, Frankfurt and Bluefield, are two entirely different offenses.
Right.
Yeah.
Frankfurt is a wing T, run down your throat. And they got a very strong running attack.
Right.
Bluefield is more of like a shotgun, trips, you know, they're going to try to out-athlete you.
Right.
Two entirely different, so it's hard to prepare defensively. Mm-hmm. But offense, we've been doing some stuff against 3 fronts, 4 fronts, 5 fronts, just to kind of give some different wrinkles, different looks. Mm-hmm. Staying focused has been my biggest thing, getting a good workout, taking the film serious. Like I said, I gave Monday off. We're going to tweak the schedule a little bit this weekend, depending on, obviously, what happens. Keeping them focused has been a big thing, obviously, especially when we're in limbo. If we were for sure in, it'd be a lot easier.
Right.
But you know, being in that limbo, the guys have responded very well. Like I've said all year long, I'm blessed with a great group to coach this year. All 45 kids have been awesome to be with all season long. Great. So I hope for their sake they get this playoff experience because you know at Oak Glen we haven't had very many playoff experiences, unfortunately. And we want to change that and get more consistent. So I want these guys to experience it. So, you know, whether we're facing number 1 in the state, 2, 10, 12, I don't care. I want these guys to experience it. We're going to prepare like heck if we're in, and we're going to prepare for battle. And so, to answer you, just staying focused. We had a great, you know, practice yesterday.
Good.
Today we worked on a lot of offensive stuff and got a lot of work done. And tomorrow will be another big film day lift, and we'll get right back at doing some more offensive stuff on Thursday and see how this weekend goes.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, I hope things do play out well for you. I hope your kids do get that experience, and you know, and hopefully we have you here next week talking about a definite opponent and how exciting that is for your kids. Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with an interview with one of our sponsors.
Welcome to the Harp and Habit, Steubenville's hidden gem. Here, Irish charm dances with local warmth. Picture shepherd's pie, fish and chips, and soda bread, all crafted with care. Whether it's family, friends, or romance, every meal becomes a celebration. Join us. Where good food meets great memories, you belong here.
A Bruin symbolizes strength, adaptability, and resilience. From the moment a child enters Brooke County schools, they are forever known as a Bruin. They have pride in themselves and the schools they attend. A Bruin can navigate challenging situations and will always work to embrace change. A Bruin ensures all students understand what it means to be a part of something special and have a sense of belonging where they can study, compete, and succeed. Want to learn more about what it means to be a Bruin? Visit BruinPride.net. Brooke County Schools, the place to be.
Hi, I'm Dan Enid, Superintendent of Hancock County Schools. Are you trying to choose a school for your child? Choose the school system that is consistently in the top 10 academically in the state of West Virginia. Safety comes first. New safety measures this year, and there's always a county or Weirton police officer in all of our buildings. Our teachers are certified, and our athletic facilities are second to none. There is free breakfast and lunch for all students. Attend the award-winning JDR Career Center if career readiness is your choice. Enroll today, Hancock County Schools. You can get there from here.
Looking for a one-stop destination in Chester, West Virginia? Visit Cheney Sunoco, where you can fill up your car and satisfy your cravings all in one place. Enjoy piping hot food, mouth-watering subs, and delicious pizza, all prepared fresh just for you. Experience a clean, welcoming environment with friendly service that makes you feel right at home. Locally owned and operated, Cheney's Sunoco is committed to serving the Chester community. Stop by today and treat yourself.
Welcome to the Harp and Habit, Steubenville's hidden gem. Here, Irish charm dances with local warmth. Picture shepherd's pie, fish and chips, and soda bread, all crafted with care. Whether it's family, friends, or romance, every meal becomes a celebration. Join us, where good food meets great memories. You belong here.
You know, Fort Steuben Maintenance should be your first choice when it comes to any and all construction projects, whether it's commercial or residential. Make Fort Steuben Maintenance your first call. You can rely on them to be the experts when it comes to roofing, concrete, plumbing, carpentry, just about any job that needs done. Fort Steuben Maintenance, they're fully licensed and bonded and will even give you a free estimate. Fort Steuben Maintenance. You want the number? 740-283-4890.
Everhart Bove Funeral Home, they believe you should take care of your loved ones while you still can. Pre-planning at Everhart Bove ensures that your family won't have to worry about the stress of final arrangements during this most difficult time. More importantly, they won't have to worry about how they'll pay for it. Visit Everhart Bove Funeral Home today and discover all the affordable options available. Everhart Bove Funeral Home, Wintersville, Richmond, and Burgolds. Thank you, National Colloid, for sponsoring this broadcast. The National Colloid Company, with over 75 years in the chemical industry, can take care of all your chemical blending needs.
Welcome to the Harp and Habit, Steubenville's hidden gem. Here, Irish charm dances with local warmth. Picture shepherd's pie, fish and chips, and soda bread, all crafted with care. Whether it's family, friends, or romance, every meal becomes a celebration. Join us, where good food meets great memories. You belong here.
All right, we're here. We saved the best for last. This is our sponsor segment here at the Harp and the Habit, McCarthy's Irish Pub. We got the owner and operator, Chris McCarthy. Chris, can't tell you how much we appreciate the support you give Ohio Valley Sports Online. Our 10,000 followers are well aware of what you do for us because we make no bones about letting them know.
I appreciate that, Ray. It's awesome to be part of this. Any way that I can help advance what you guys do is important work. If there's anything I know about this area, it's that they love their sports.
Oh yeah, we got Barron basketball right around the corner.
Yeah, I'm excited for tee off there.
Hey, we got it's wing night here. All kind of wings here. Come on down. I mean, the place is booming. But I'm going to tell you something. Wings aside, I just had the most fantastic Cobb salad, Tony. My goodness, you talk about healthy. It was delicious. The avocado, the egg. Oh, my goodness, Chris. I mean, what an addition to your menu.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, as I was saying, it's a recipe I brought with me from a previous restaurant. But, it's definitely one of our better selling salads.
Well, Chris, what do you got going on down here? I want to talk about the expansion and everything, but, you're settling in here. You've been here about, what, a little over a year now?
Yeah, about a year and 3 months, I guess. August of 24 is when I bought this restaurant. And, yeah, I mean, it's been great being back in the area. And honestly, just, getting to become part of the community. My kids playing sports in the community, having a few seasons throughout the year. It's been really awesome, and I'm excited for the expansion as well. We're hoping probably in May that we take over the buildings and we'll start hopefully training and opening the restaurant sometime this summer.
Well, I know they broke ground up here. You want to talk a little bit about that? Let the people know, what's going on up there?
Yeah, sure. So we basically have 5 new restaurants coming into town. We have Scooter's Coffee, which will be have a drive-through on one end, Buffalo Wild Wings Go on the other end. So it's more just takeout. There are some tables in there to eat, but it's just a go location, no bar. I'm still the only bar around here. So, but then we have in the middle.
That was intentional.
That was intentional. don't want to shoot myself in the foot there. But in the middle there we have Annie Ann's, Jamba Juice, and
Chipotle's.
No, Annie Ann's, Jamba Juice.
I'm just throwing names
and,
out there.
Cinnabon. Wow.
There you go,
Forgot the
man.
best one.
Cinnabon. Okay, I remember that one. There
Yeah.
used to be one out at the mall. We got a big expansion here. Who's involved in that? Is that Franco and Joe Lucchino, and then you partner up with them?
It's actually so Dan Van Steenberg, who owns the Jimmy John's. Him and I partnered up at Jimmy John's in Harp and Habit. So he's one of my associates here now, and I partnered up with him, and I'll be the operating partner for the whole expansion. So Jimmy John's and then the other restaurants. So I'm basically going to be running 7 restaurants within 150 yards of each other.
And, I want to let people know, though, man, tell us about your ties to the university.
So I was a student at Franciscan 2002 to 2007. I currently have a daughter in the Austria program at Franciscan. She's a junior. And then, sponsor of the basketball team and Joe Wallace and Adam Martella and, the whole coaching staff, good friends. And then... Franco obviously sponsors the Classic. Last year I was part of that as well. Hope to continue to be able to sponsor.
Yeah, my intentions on that, Chris, is just, I want to emphasize the fact of how this university has students that don't come in and leave. They got a lot to stay.
Absolutely.
Now you were here for a period of time, and you left, and you came back, and now you got all this going on. I mean, that's directly related to university and your connections with that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I love Steubenville, like the town outside of the university. I love Steubenville. It's the type of town that speaks to me. But having the university here obviously is great. It helps. This expansion is because of Franciscan University.
Absolutely.
This is their land that they're developing. I'm happy and blessed to be part of it. I don't bring much to the table other than some restaurant experience, but I think this is going to be great. At this restaurant, I employ a ton of Franciscan students. I have a lot of student, townspeople that work here too, but I have a ton of Franciscan students all year round, and at Jimmy John's as well. And we have probably 60, 70 jobs we're going to be hiring for, including managers and, shift leaders and stuff. So if you're interested, we definitely, need people that are looking to get involved here. And we'll probably start our hiring process in February or March.
Yeah, these college students, they are very personable, and they are good. They seem to me to be good employees.
Yeah, it's really one of my favorite things about, owning a bar has its perks, but one of the things I really love about this is I get to hire people, and I know their families.
There you go.
I went to school with their parents, or my siblings went to school with their parents, and I know that they're good quality workers, and and if not, I can text their dad and say, "Hey, get your kid in line."
Absolutely, I like it. But I just always like to impress upon the point The biggest move that for Steubenville as a whole was the fact that Franciscan University came off the hill.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, once they came off the hill, Steubenville's had some restaurants go up, but the university has been very, very active in the economic growth of this town. And for a guy like me, I got grandkids. I mean, I'm going to be gone, and the university is going to be thriving, and my grandkids, will still have a Steubenville. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, it's great. Outside of just the tax benefits that come from that, all these new restaurants coming in, the town's going to grow from that. But just the obvious ideology of coming downhill and being part of town instead of just staying up on the hill, which it was forever. It was two separate things, and now we're integrating this square with the rink opening up November 14th. We're hopeful. I was just talking to Phil Rook today. He's hopeful that he can get that up and running by the 14th. So that's pretty close.
And the rink is a major attraction because it's very, very, very active, and it's taken advantage of by the kids.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw not last year, but 2 years ago, like 36,000 people visited the rink.
Wow.
And last year, I'm sure it was even more. So, it's a great thing for the community. There's so much about this community that we've lost. When I moved here, I took my son through the mall, and I was so dejected. I was like, man, this place used to be rocking when I was here. We had the movie theater, and I think there was a Dick's Sporting Goods in the mall.
Yes, there was.
I mean, it was a really good place to be, and not having that, it's kind of like, dang, what do we got to do? Seven Ranges is great. We have people investing in town, back into the community, which is great, and obviously, Franciscan doing what they're doing is amazing, and with their sports programs as well. Shout out to Joe having the best season they've had at Franciscan for the men's basketball program, and I think since they won a small school championship back in the 50s.
Amen. You're right on that. They open up Friday night, I believe. They're in a tournament. They'll be at home next Friday. I believe their home opener is next Friday or maybe next Saturday. But Joe Wallace, he's finally, in my opinion, I've told him, he's got a team that I think that he can compete. I mean, I think he's going to be like 9 to 10 deep. And that league took me, we've been doing Barron basketball 5-6 years now. And the first time I saw that league, and I'm a basketball guy, and I said, my goodness gracious, this league is so much better than I thought. And Franciscan couldn't compete.
Yeah.
But Joe Wallace worked his butt off, and I remember the Wheeling job came up, and another West Liberty job, and I said, Joe, you got connections. I said, you're going to go after them jobs? And he said, I want to finish my job at the university. So he's committed. He's tied in. And this year I told him no excuses, but he told me don't use that term because he's been using no excuses since he got here. So I tried to trademark that, but I can't.
That's good. I like that.
But McCarthy's Irish Pub here got wing night. Come on down. What else you got on the menu, Chris, other than the wings and the Cobb salad? Me and Tony have eaten everything, huh, Tony? The Irish stew is outstanding as well.
Well, I brought a little bit of Philly with me when I moved out here, so I have my Philly cheesesteaks, chicken cheesesteaks. We got really good smash burgers. I have a lot of traditional Irish fare with our, Irish Guinness stew, cottage pie, bangers and mash. And we try and keep the menu fresh throughout the year, so I do a few menus a year. A lot of good salad options, a lot of good sandwiches. And, love everyone to come down and give us a shot.
Absolutely. That's Chris McCarthy at McCarthy's Irish Pub right here in Franciscan Square, University Boulevard. High Valley Sports Online can't thank you enough, Chris, for everything you do for
Absolutely.
us, man.
Thanks, Ray.
As you host this, man, come on down here. This is our last sponsorship show. We had to save the best for last. Chris McCarthy from the Harp and Habit. Thanks for tuning in, people. We'll see you Friday night. Big Red Football Playoff Round 2. Bye-bye.